Unhurry, written and narrated by Sister Natalie Shaver. I'm a fan of the slow life, making a cup of tea each morning, taking a walk, reading a book. These things bring me joy and contentment. I'm a simple gal. Empty calendars make me smile because it means I get to live at my own pace and don't have to rush anywhere. This is not to say I don't enjoy spending time with family and friends. Of course I do. I just relish in the unplanned and unhurried. It is this notion of an unhurried life that struck me recently after finishing a book about the topic. So much of our world is stuck in the fast lane, having a must-do all the things mindset, and is not aligned with the rhythms of Jesus. Although we are called to work and do work, the attitudes behind our work can lead to our downfall. So, can the work of unhurrying ourselves have an impact on our spiritual lives? I believe it can, and we have proof. Jesus was the ultimate unhurried person. After waiting 30 years to start his ministry, the first thing he did was follow the Holy Spirit and spend 40 days in the wilderness. And throughout his life, Christ often withdrew to lonely places to pray. Despite a life full of ministry, responsibilities, and opportunities, he practiced disengagement to be with the Father, and often. Jesus didn't want to miss anything the Father had to share with him. If we hurry through life, we run the risk of running past God's way for us. It's important to note that rushing about for the Lord doesn't necessarily equate to a fruitful path. Genuine and true productivity for him isn't about getting as much done as we possibly can, but rather doing the work God has actually given us to do for that day. How many times do we hear of missionaries having a planned agenda only for it to change, for the better, thanks to the Lord? Our efforts are for him and him alone, not to boast of ourselves all that we have accomplished on our long to-do list. Let's take things a step further. We live in the instant generation. We push a button to start our cars. We click add to cart, and our items arrive within hours. We set the microwave to cook our meals, no recipes required. We expect things to happen immediately, and we've been conditioned as such. When it comes to machines and technology, faster is always better. But what about when it comes to love? Is the same true? Not at all. Love is a slow, spiritual speed. It's constant, unwavering, ever-present. It suffereth long and endureth all things. It never fails. 1 Corinthians 13. Christ brought his gospel to us as a reminder of such. He wants us to be in deep communion with him always. But how is that possible if we're running about, distracted by the busyness of life? The answer is, it's not. Ask yourself, is my pace of life Christ-like? And if it isn't, now is your opportunity to change that. I'm not suggesting we quit our jobs, stop all activities, or suddenly become couch potatoes. But I do think we need to keep things in perspective and not burn ourselves out, personally, professionally, or spiritually. Rest, that is fasting, praying, reading, visiting with a brother or sister, meditating, walking among God's creation, loving deeply, isn't idle, and all of that other stuff is just stuff. Let's push pause when we need to. Let's slow down when we need to. Let's adjust our momentum when we need to. Let's make room to live a little more intentional and unhurried, making room for more of him and less of everything else.